Story 1. I have always been the outsider in my family. My interests never aligned with theirs. I was left out of most things. I didn't really let it bother me too much, just did my thing and eventually was engaged to a woman my family loved. We moved interstate for my work. My family used to call regularly, mostly chatting with my ex. We tried for a child and she fell pregnant. And my family and hers were ecstatic. One day, however, she woke to bleeding and we had some tests and found she had a miscarriage. Things got tough and eventually we separated. I was devastated to say the least. I struggled and barely went through the motions of life for a few years after the event. During these toughest times of my life, I found my family calling less, texting less, never heard from brother or sister, not even to give condolences when we lost our child. I found I was calling my parents more to initiate conversations. One day, I just stopped calling. I didn't get a text or a call for 10 months, not even my birthday. When they did eventually call, I didn't bother answering. They couldn't check up on me during my worst of times. I couldn't be bothered talking to them at all. I almost ended it all. A year or two later, I got 2 separate invitations to weddings. My brother and sister were both getting married in the same year. I just tossed the invites in the bin. I had not even talked to them in years. They would not miss me at the weddings. A week before my brother's wedding, my mother texted me and asked me if I was going. I simply said no. She then began to barrage me with texts about how my brother wanted me there and that I should go. I kindly informed her, my brother would not care, we have not spoken and I am not interested. Well, my mother started berating me and started telling me, what will everyone think if his own brother didn't show up? It would be embarrassing to the family. I simply replied, your family. I have a new family. I have friends that call me every day. I have friends that want me to be with them at Christmas and birthdays. These friends are more family than you ever were. These friends were actually worried when my relationship broke down. She stopped texting. After a while, I wondered if I went too far. I never regretted not going to the weddings. I think my mother showed my father what I said. A month later, he apologized and said he should have been there for me more and now often texts to check up on me. He doesn't always expect a reply, but seems happy when I do. I sometimes see how close some people are with their blood families, and I do wish I had that. But then feel bad for how I talk to my mother. But I soon get angry again that in my darkest times, they didn't even try to check on me, and I had to do all the work communicating until I gave up. Anyway, am I the a-hole for saying what I did to my mother and not showing up to the weddings? Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. I went through a really hard time at one point a few years ago, and none of my 4 siblings or their spouses were there to support me in any way. I felt utterly abandoned and have felt like the ugly stepchild ever since. Your family is the people who love you and support you unconditionally, and that does not always mean blood. Not the a-hole. I am sorry you lost the baby and your marriage, and that your family failed to support you during this awful time. Telling your mom the truth about how you feel was the right thing to do. She only wanted you at your brother's wedding to save face for the family. That's not love. It does sound like your dad is trying to have a relationship with you and to fix things, and that's good. Not the a-hole. You lost your kid and your love, and that's when it's told. There is an army behind you. But it's seldom blood that comes from the womb. It's that what is shared with laughter and the fields of battle. Don't contact the family again. Don't share anything again. They do not define you. Story 2. I live in a country where baby showers aren't a thing, but it's definitely expected to purchase gifts for the baby even when it's not born yet. My sister-in-law lives far from me and is soon to have her baby. I was and am excited and decided I would not get her anything for the baby. I know family will go nuts buying the baby a lot, but rather I would get her gifts to pamper herself with because I have had 2 pregnancies and I remember feeling like I wasn't important because everyone focused only on the baby. I purchased her some expensive, comfortable sandals that are adjustable for swelling and some foot creams, nail polish, etc. I know she can't pamper her own feet, but I thought in my head it would be sweet if my brother-in-law could do it for her. Now I sent it, could not gift it in person, and she left a really sarcastic comment in the group chat, saying, "Thanks for giving me a gift I can't use. Are you pointing out I'm too fat to see my feet?" etc. The rest of my family jumped on me saying that I was thoughtless and why did I not just stick to gifting the baby things? And I thought I was being clever, but really it backfired. I feel a bit stupid, especially because my husband got angry with his family and started defending me, which caused them to get angry with him, which I appreciate, but I feel bad that I put him in that position. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole, but she sure is. To be ungrateful for any gift, much less a thoughtful one, is petty and stupid. You did a very nice thing, and that you feel badly is sad. And your family sounds like a bunch of bullies. Sorry it happened. Wow, your in-laws and sister-in-law are definitely the a-holes. What the F? As a mom of two, I would have thought your gift was very sweet and thoughtful. I received a lot of stuff at the baby shower that the baby never wore or used. Seriously, how many newborn outfits does a baby need? Not the a-hole. Sorry you married into a family of a-holes, OP. Not the a-hole. Wow, what kind of person calls someone out in a group message because they didn't like the gift they received? An ass. I'd be one and done for sending her a gift. When the baby is born, I'd send a congratulations card. Along with since my previous gift was so poorly received, we decided to refrain from sending any more gifts that might insult you. Best wishes. Story 3. I'm a 37-year-old mom. First off, let me start by saying that my 13-year-old daughter, Maya, was suffering from blood cancer and it was incredibly hard on her because of how weak she was. We'd seen some pretty awful days. I was exhausted. I had zero strength to handle it. It was just me and my husband doing everything. My parents themselves have been dealing with health issues. But my brother and his wife only visited a couple of times and that was it. My brother's wife made some backhanded comments about Maya's health and look while Maya was struggling. Maya cried twice because of her insensitivity and lack of consideration. We kept our distance from her and my brother and focused on Maya. It's been nearly over a year now and Maya is in good health and I'm so thankful for that. Last year, unfortunately, we didn't get to celebrate her birthday due to circumstances, but this year her grandparents said they wanted to celebrate her birthday at their house. I agreed. Maya has a wonderful relationship with her grandparents and I knew she'd want to go celebrate her birthday with them. My mom invited family members. My brother and his wife were already there since they always visit. Things were going great. Family members showed up with gifts and more sweets and also took pictures. However, once Maya started opening her gifts, my sister-in-law got up while my brother was asking for a minute because he said they had something to announce. By the look on his wife's face, it seemed like it was planned. My sister-in-law announced that she and my brother were expecting and everyone started congratulating her and hugging my brother. I was standing next to Maya and I noticed she was uncomfortable. Sister-in-law basically stole my daughter's birthday to announce her pregnancy, even though she could have picked another day. Maya seemed upset until the party was over. She didn't even open some gifts, as everyone else was sitting and talking to my sister-in-law. We left an hour early and once I got home, I called my sister-in-law and asked her why she thought it was okay for her to ruin my daughter's birthday and crush her spirit after having been through so much that this party was needed. I basically lashed out at her and told her she could have picked another day. But she pulled the whole family was there, so I couldn't miss the chance nonsense. Maya stayed in her room after that, and she even refused to look at the pictures we took. I got into an argument with my brother, telling me I shouldn't berate his pregnant wife and scold her like that. He said she didn't do anything to me, so I needed to apologize for being mean and rude to her for no reason. But I refused and turned my phone off. Edit. Everyone, please understand that I'm not in the USA. I've already mentioned this multiple times. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. Even if your daughter had not been through a health crisis, announcing something like that at her birthday party is still insensitive and incredibly rude. They couldn't even bother to wait until the end of the party. Not the a-hole. Honestly, it sounds like she's jealous of any attention Maya gets, and is pretty much confirmed by the way she acted at your daughter's party. What a cow. And sorry, but your brother is a cow too for being okay with it. You're right to stand up for Maya because it's hard to stand up to anyone when you're a kid, especially when they're family members and other family members don't see anything wrong with what they did. Not the a-hole. I could understand if they announced at the end of the night, after cake and presents and all the birthday stuff was done. But to interrupt a child opening presents, especially one who has been through as much as your daughter, is unkind. I think you should have called out your brother first, perhaps, but they both deserved it. Story 4. My brother, sister-in-law, and her parents are visiting my wife and I for a week because we live in the same city as sister-in-law's brother, who is graduating this week from college. They are here a week early just to spend time with us and to visit us for the first time at a new house we recently bought. We have a pool and the temperatures have been basically scorching for the past couple of weeks. My wife's between some contracts at work, so she's been enjoying the sunshine and cooling off more so than usual. Apparently, this is something my sister-in-law isn't comfortable with, and get this, not for herself, but for her parents' sake. She told me, through my brother once and directly in a heated conversation, how some of my wife's behavior is a little beneath her age and disrespectful to our guests. What is this behavior, you ask? That she sunbathes, sometimes topless, around the pool, which is a good 30 yards away from the house, on its own corner of the property. That she sometimes spends time in a bathing suit at home while she's hopping in and out. And this is what got me almost to rage at her. That apparently she has the audacity not to maybe wear an annoying bra when it's nearly 100 Fahrenheit outside, for a place and a house designed to be getting no more than 70 and 85 Fahrenheit, even in summers. Yes, we live in coastal CA. I lost my cool, called her a pervert, then later apologized to my brother and her, but told her that any more comments and she's not welcome to stay here anymore. Her parents, being old and polite through this, can definitely stay. It's simple. Am I the a-hole? Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. She is clearly jealous because your wife is confident and comfortable with her body. Don't like it? Don't look. She has a lot of nerve bashing someone's behavior in their own home. Not the a-hole, but I can see not sunbathing topless when family is visiting. She should probably not do that, as that seems a bit odd to me. You should probably wear a bra if it's that noticeable around your family as well. But none of that makes her the a-hole. Your sister-in-law sounds like a complainer. Not the a-hole. It's your house. If they don't like it, they can leave. Oh, and bras suck in general and really, really suck when it's hot. I don't wear them around the house either. Sister-in-law needs to stop with the snarky remarks or leave.